Hi, this is Steve Carroll. Here's an overview as to how to use the Cashflow template. So we start looking at the spreadsheet. There are 4 tabs on the spreadsheet. So we've got the instructions here. But hopefully this video you won't need to look at those. This will replace those. We've then got the actual template itself, which we'll concentrate most of the time on. And then the other 2 tabs are the graph and little disclaimers in there. Hopefully we won't need to refer to. So starting with the Cashflow template, all the cells that are in yellow are the ones that you can input on. Anything in white are locked to stop anybody overwriting any of the formula. In simple terms, we've got the cash received at the top and then the cash payments down at the bottom. Those all feed through down into a closing balance at the end. So it takes the payments that have come in, takes off the payments that are going out to get to a closing balance at the end. So we start by putting the business name in. You can tailor it to your own company. So put your own business in. This template you can either do weekly or monthly, 12 periods with a little drop down box there. So this just toggles between weekly and monthly. If you notice here, the monthly, in monthly mode, the lines across here go to the months. If we put it to weekly, those go to from the start date, adds a week onto each. You'd use the weekly mode for short-term cash planning over the next 12 weeks. This is to give you the short-term visibility. For instance, when you're looking at negotiating with customers or suppliers or really managing and getting a grip on that short-term cash that you need to. The monthly ones where you're looking further ahead, for instance, you might be putting in a loan application or a bit more long-term planning. So we'll show you that again. So looking in monthly, switch to weekly. So we'll keep this in weekly. You can then put a start date in. So we'll change that to the 12th of the 5th, 20. See, by putting that in, it automatically updates all these weeks. By putting that first week in at the 12th, so the balances at the bottom will then be at the end of that week. So for instance, on this one here, 2nd of the 6th, the balance at the bottom will be the end of that week of the 2nd of the 6th. All these boxes in yellow you can override. What I've done is pre-populated these with some of the most common ones. So what I've found is often there's top 4 or 5 customers where you'll generate most of your income from, and then an other where you put the rest of the customers in. So you might want to overtype those with your most popular customers. So Bob might be it, or company 1, 2, 3, wherever you get your customers from. So you overtype those and then put the amounts that you expect coming in from there. So you might think, right, I want to receive £2,000 in from there. And what I'll do is put some estimates in for now. The idea is you can always play with those later. Put some little notes on here next to, because this was specifically updated in terms of the COVID-19 support. So there's little items in there. So if we just scroll down there, this gives references to the job retention scheme, HMRC for the time to pay, HMRC on the VAT, just a reminder that VAT's been deferred and any payments before the 30th of June, etc. So if we just go back up to the top there. So put those in, similar to the customers. On the payments side, I've got various headings here that are pre-populated, but you can overwrite all of those. Go back down, and a key thing to remember is put in your opening bank balance. If it's a negative, if you're overdrawn, put it in as a minus figure. So if you've got an overdraft, if you're overdrawn, put it in as a minus 3,000. If it's a positive, put it in as a plus 2,000. And just for example, so if we're paying this supplier here £2,000, that negates that overdraft. We're paying that one £1,000. So these all feed through automatically. So what you need to do is go feed through, putting in all the receipts, all the payments, and it'll work out that cash flow at the bottom. What I'll go through onto the next tutorial is the best way of doing that, and some sort of hints and tips about how to actually build this forecast up. So that's the introduction to the overall template and just a brief overview of the cash flow forecast.